Hey everyone, I have another film rambly video today, and if you've never seen my ASMR film rambles, quite frankly, I ramble about cinema, about new releases, old films, things I've seen recently that I either loved or hated. And it's just a very relaxing way for us to discuss cinema without me getting overexcited and screaming at you. So I think also this video will contain a mix of whispers because I've had a lot of people requesting that I do more whisper based videos. So if you do prefer whispers, let me know. And if you prefer soft spoken, let me know, and I will kind of try and get a more balanced mix of the two. I think for the most part this video will be soft spoken, basically because it hurts my throat less. But whatever you prefer, just let me know. Okay, so I think I'll talk about the films that are currently in the cinema or coming up soon and I'm interested in. So the last film that I saw in the cinema was Suffragette, and I've actually reviewed it already. The video will be up by the time this is. I can't get over how wonderful Suffragette was as a film. It's just... I do apologise. It's just such an incredible film, and Helena was just gorgeous. She plays Edith Ellen, and I think her involvement was very interesting because her her ancestor, H.H. Asquith, was anti-suffrage. He was against the vote for women. And of course, Helena is playing a character who is very much pro-suffrage. She's very much involved in the suffrage movement as a suffragette. So I just find that really interesting. I really want to see Crimson Peak, but it's on at a really odd time of night, and I could go, like I have work the next day. I usually go to the cinema on a Tuesday because it's cheaper, but it's on I think 20 to 10, and I don't really want to be getting back from the cinema at midnight, and I usually wash my hair on a Tuesday as well. Maybe I'm making excuses, I don't know. I did also want to see Pan. I'm currently writing about Peter Pan and studying it quite a lot, but I've not actually heard anything positive about the film, so I don't really know what to do. Maybe if there's nothing else I want to see this coming week, I might go and see it, but I'm pretty sure there was something else that was coming out soon that I wanted to see, so I don't know. Carol. I'd like to see Carol. I'm not sure when that's out. Could be December. Excuse me. Yeah, it could be December or late November. You know when you can't work out if your eyeliner is smudged or if it's just the shadow of your eye crease. Anyway, there's a Russell Crowe film coming out, Fathers and Daughters, which again I might go and see. It looks interesting, but Russell Crowe is very hit or miss for me. Usually miss, but he does look good in this one, and it looks very different to any other role that I have seen him in. Granted, I've not seen that many of his films yet, but the one I'm most looking forward to is Lady in the Van, Maggie Smith. It looks so funny, and I think Maggie Smith does comedy excellently. She does serious very good as well, of course, but I think her comedy is just, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that is out Friday the 13th in the UK, and I'm actually in Hampstead then, possibly, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. So I might go and see it. on the release date. I normally go on a Tuesday because it's cheaper, as I said. But I think for Lady in the Van, it's a film that really needs to be prioritised. There's also a Christmas film coming out. It begins with a K. Can't remember what it's called, but that looks really different. Very interesting. But I will talk about that more if and when I go to see it. So I think that's kind of a roundup of, Victor Frankenstein. I'm a huge Frankenstein fan. Really love Frankenstein. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So, let's have a look at some of the films I've seen. Basically, I keep a list of every film that I've watched, and I've done this for the last, I think I started doing it December 2013, so almost 2 years. And it's really, because I've got a really bad memory, and it's really nice to look through it, and as soon as I see a film's name I remember watching it, and it's great. So let's see what I've watched recently. I watched London Road, but I won't talk too much about that one because I have reviewed it, which will be up either before or after this video, I'm not sure. Basically, Olivia Colman is absolutely gorgeous, and I love her. The film is brilliant. I watched Insidious 2. I don't think the second Insidious film was as good as the first film. Certainly I don't think it was as scary. But I do like the way that they progress the story. Normally when we have a horror film and they kind of just continue the story in the second film, it can be quite monotonous and not very good. But I certainly... Sorry. I'll just apologise in advance for all the yawns at this video. It's only like 11 o'clock in the morning, I shouldn't be this tired. Yes, and I like the character of Elise. And I did enjoy the second Insidious film. I just didn't enjoy it as much as the first. Yeah, okay, Dinner for Schmucks. I don't know why it's taken me this long to see Dinner for Schmucks. One, it looks great. Or looked great, I have seen it now. Two, I love Paul Rudd. I really love Paul Rudd. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's not as funny as I thought. But it is enjoyable and I did like it and I would definitely recommend it. Basically a guy's going up for promotion and he has to bring somebody peculiar to a dinner. And he meets a peculiar person who creates scenes out of mice. And those mice are adorable. And it's such a good film. I did enjoy it. Okay. The Haunting of Ellie Rose is weird. Basically at least I feel like you're being misled in a really, really good way throughout the entire film because you think it's one thing. And then the next thing you know, the characters are not what you thought they were. And it's really good. It's not scary. I don't know if it's meant to be scary, but it's certainly thought-provoking. And Lucy Benjamin is in it, which was so surprising. Because I've never seen her as a film actress. You know, I love her as Lisa Fowler in EastEnders. I'm a Celebrity, I think she did that. But no, she's really good in it, and it's kind of made me want to go and check out more that she's done. I just put it in the DVD, into the laptop, and it's like, oh, there's Lucy Benjamin. Absolutely mind blown. I don't know why I'm so fixated by that, but I really am. Okay, let's stick with sequels. Child's Play 2, the second Chucky film. Not that impressed. It wasn't bad. Basically Chucky is brought back to life. And there's a kind of wild goose chase again, as we had with the first film. But I think because Chucky doesn't look as scary, I just think the element of surprise isn't as strong, which is to be expected because we kind of already know how menacing Chucky can be. Having said that, I will continue to watch the other Chucky films and the Chucky's Bride of Chucky or whatever, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure someone will correct me on my misguided memory. So it wasn't a bad film. I am not put off the rest of the series, but I just don't think it was as good as the first. Okay, Stitches. Stitches was a film that I downloaded onto my iPad. I think it was like 99 pence on iTunes, because I was on a train journey, and I like to watch films when I'm on a train journey, and it looked scary. It's about a clown. Clown played by Ross Noble. So I was a bit like, is this scary or is this funny? It's disgusting. It's graphic, but it's funny and it's weird. And basically, if like me, you like anything that just doesn't make any sense, you need to watch it. A clown is killed at a children's party, and then 6 years later, I think, 7 years, however many years later, this child's birthday party comes around again, and he is now a teenager, and this clown comes back from the dead and sets out to kill all of the children who were originally at the birthday party at which he died. And it's quite funny in some aspects, but it's also disgusting, and I love it. It's a different kind of film. I think it's the best way to describe it. I keep looking at the screen and not the... I'm sorry. Do you know, I've written down a film here, and I really can't remember what it is. Do you know? No, it's completely... Look, give me 3 seconds. Do you know when you watch a film and then you're like, I just remembered what it is before it came up on the screen, and it's wonderful. And the reason it wasn't in my mind as much is because it's a short, well, it's not a short, it's feature length, it's about an hour. And sorry, the film is called The Song of Lunch. I should have probably put that up. And it's based on a poem, a soliloquy, monologue. And basically we have 2 main cast members, and that's about it. Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson. I mean, how amazing is that cast? Oh, Emma Thompson is gorgeous in this. The film was only out about 5 years ago. And Alan Rickman's great, and it's basically about old lovers who come back together for a lunch date. It's not a date, it's more of a catch-up. And obviously one of them's married now, one isn't, and one's life is great, one's isn't. And it's the ending I didn't like. The ending made no sense. And I'm not the only person to say that. I googled it to find out what was going on, and basically a lot of other people have asked the same question. But that aside, just Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman, it's just, it's like fangasm galore. It's so good. And now I feel really guilty for having forgotten what film that was. Let's see what else we've got that I watched in October. I'm going to complain out loud again that I really hate the fact that my camera doesn't have an on-screen clock. Really irritating. Okay, the Duff. Actually, I think I might be talking about the Duff in my next A to Z films. I'm not sure. It was requested for D, so I won't say much about it. All I will say, I watched the Duff. It was great. And I think I'm the Duff. I think I'm always the Duff. Dude, Where's My Car was great. Little Ashton Kutcher. He's never aged. I don't think Ashton Kutcher ages at all. But the film was quite good. Sean Williamson Scott was good as well. And I think it's just one of those iconic films that you've got to see at least once. Sorry. Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not that funny really. Dead Man's Chest. Do you know when you just picture something in your mind? All I can picture is Johnny Depp's face. I'm so sorry to Johnny Depp for just laughing almost uncontrollably at your face. Because, you know, I'm talking to you as if you'd be watching my ASMR video. Well, you never know, do you? It's just that there's something, I think I prefer Captain Jack in the second Pirates film than I did in the first, and it's very rare that I prefer second films, but it's just, oh, it's so funny. Oh, and there are just so many moments with Jack in this, despite the fact that I don't really feel like Jack's in this as much as he was in the first film. But he's hilarious. He is so hilariously funny, and I just, oh god, he's wonderful. Yeah, and I think we'll go with one more film for this video, because that's pretty much an October roundup. The last film is Glen or Glenda, directed by Ed Wood. And basically Ed Wood was probably one of the worst directors of his time, so the label goes. Now, if it wasn't for Tim Burton's film Ed Wood, I wouldn't have heard of Ed Wood. And I think that may be the case for a lot of people. I think Burton kind of brought Ed Wood to life with a new level of appreciation that he deserves. And the great thing about Ed Wood, I will talk about Glen or Glenda in a minute, but the great thing about Ed Wood is that he didn't give up. You know, he wasn't the greatest director from the clips in the films that I've seen, but he was a passionate director. He was determined, and at the end of the day, and I get really annoyed when somebody says that an artwork is rubbish. I mean, occasionally you do get things that are technically bad, but art is personal, and if I love things that a lot of people hate, but that's just the way I do it. And I think as long as directing his films, writing his films, starring in his films made Ed Wood happy, what's the problem? You know, just because it's not a global hit or a blockbuster. Ironically, Tim Burton's Ed Wood was way more successful than any of Ed Wood's films were ever. But I get really annoyed when somebody really, really digs into a piece of art. If you don't like it, fine, ignore it. But, yeah. So Glen or Glenda is about a man who dresses in women's clothing, which is basically what Tim Burton's Ed Wood is about. Because Glen or Glenda is quite a biopic in some ways. I don't know if you can do a self-directed biopic. Autobiopic? Is that a thing? I don't know. But I enjoyed it from a comparison aspect, because I think having seen Burton's film, I kind of knew what to expect with Glen or Glenda. There are certain, it's almost factual, like it's kind of a documentary, and that makes it seem like you're watching a real thing. But because it's kind of autobiopic, if that's not a word, it totally should be, it almost is like a documentary. So it's a weird kind of genre, but no, on its own it's not great. If I'd watched it before I'd seen Burton's Ed Wood, I would have just thought, what is this? That Sweeney Todd lyrics, what is this? Smells like. But yeah, from a comparison point of view, it's very good. It's a really hard film to discuss because I just keep thinking of Ed Wood, of Tim Burton's, of the film Ed Wood. Yeah, if you get a chance to see Glen or Glenda, watch it, but perhaps watch Burton's Ed Wood first, and you may feel more towards the director then. Yeah, okay, so there's my film ramble video for November. I kind of try and do one of these a month, talking about the previous month's views. If I had to pick my favourite film from October, oh, it has to be Suffragette. It has to be Suffragette. But I also thoroughly enjoyed Song of Lunch, despite the fact that I completely forgot about what it was. Peter's friends, which I've not talked about in this video, but I've talked about it in my film highlights, which again may or may not be up before this video. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for films I should check out, let me know, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye!